ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
SWAT team swarm a busy street, moving children to a safe location after a man was shot and taken to the hospital. Those officers then locked down a Claremont neighborhood for hours as they searched for a possible armed suspect. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has more on how the dramatic search came to an end.
A tense scene unfolded along Claremont Mesa Boulevard near Genesee Avenue Thursday as heavily armed officers were seen on the streets. Sky 10 flew over the area, getting a better look at the massive police response.
I just heard a bunch of sirens. I didn't know what was going on.
Police responded to the area shortly before 2 p.m. after reports of gunshots. They found the victim with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital.
Witnesses are telling us that the victim walked for a little bit and then collapsed on the 5,000 block of Claremont.
Witnesses told police there were 2 men with the victim and they were possibly armed. Police located a man with a gun who was then detained.
We have detectives on scene. We're trying to determine if in fact there was a second suspect. We have conflicting information.
In the meantime, officers were also concerned about a preschool in the area.
We knew that there was kids on that property at school. So because of the concern of the kids, because of a possible another suspect in the area, we brought in additional resources, which was our SWAT.
The kids were taken to a nearby church until their parents could pick them up.
I can tell you the kids are all safe. We made sure of that.
After nearly 3 hours, police did not find a second suspect. They couldn't say for sure if there is or isn't a second person involved in the shooting, but they called off the search and deemed there was no immediate threat to the area. In Claremont, Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Also tonight, 10 pounds of high-powered explosives believed to have been stolen from a Southern California military base. Tonight, we have new details on an exclusive Team 10 investigation we broke today. Our ABC 10 News investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner talked to an expert about how much of a danger that missing C4 poses.
Behind the front entry of this Southern California military base, an investigation is underway after high-power explosives disappeared during a training exercise, according to multiple sources with close military ties. The images on screen are from a separate training exercise on the 29 Palms Marine Base in 2016. They are not from this new incident. Sources confirm that 2 weeks ago, about 10 pounds of C4 vanished during a new training exercise, and it's believed that the explosives may have been stolen.
It's a huge problem.
Thursday, ABC 10 News spoke to retired Captain Kelly Mayer, a former bomb technician and firefighter with 23 years of experience. He said that C4, pictured here from a training event 4 years ago, requires military blasting caps to detonate, and once it does, it moves very quickly, 30,000 feet per second.
It is the most powerful explosive that there is. Everything's measured, all explosives are measured against TNT, and C4 is right there with TNT.
Even 1 pound could destroy a vehicle, he added. 10 pounds spaced out or detonated together could cause substantial damage.
It could demolish a house, say a single family residence. You could blow the roof off of a house, you could blow walls out from it.
Sources confirm that the commanding officer of the unit sent out a message to all subordinate commands about a monetary reward for any information leading to the discovery of the C4. The base would not confirm the details in our story, but sent a brief statement reading in part, "The ongoing investigation into this incident is being handled by NCIS and the affected units." Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
NCIS told us in part that it will not comment on or confirm details relating to the ongoing investigations. But you can track any new developments with this story on the 10 News mobile app. A free version is available in the App Store.
We definitely appreciate the feedback from the public letting us know about the challenges, and we are listening.
In an effort to maintain health equity, county officials announced a pilot program to help those 65 and older make appointments for the COVID-19 vaccine. Many are facing challenges with the online scheduling system or facing language barriers. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo explains what we know about the program so far.
The pilot program is expected to roll out on Friday. The exact details are still being worked out, but the goal is to help people navigate the appointment system. County officials say they have heard loud and clear the challenges those 65 and older are facing to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Specifically, our communities have around the digital divide, language barriers, access to transportation for so many of them.
To help, they're launching a pilot program aimed at making things more equitable for those that might not have help. County health workers known as promotoras will go out into the most vulnerable communities and help them make vaccine appointments.
So it is really encouraging to feel heard, not necessarily for us, but for our community.
The program is county-led, but created with input from multiple community organizations. The Chicano Federation is one of them.
Is we can really help inform some of the challenges that we're seeing, so that when they roll out this program, they can do so with those challenges in mind.
Challenges that include not being computer savvy, speaking another language, or not even knowing where to begin. The program will start in the South Bay and, if it's successful, expand to the entire county.
Regardless of ethnicity or background, we just need people to get vaccinated. So I think it's going to be a huge benefit to everybody.
The county says they will announce where the promotoras will be located so the community can show up for help.
And it's a result of our commitment to ensuring that our communities have access that they need to make sure that everybody is vaccinated as we move forward.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
And our two-day run of fewer than 1,000 cases came to an end today. The county reported just under 1,600 cases, while our test positivity rate ticked up to 7%. And 55 more people have lost their lives to COVID, bringing that number to 2,700.
A milestone at the vaccination superstation downtown. Last night, they vaccinated the 100,000th person at the Petco Park site, which opened January 11th. And right now, about 5,000 people a day are getting vaccinated at the site, which requires an appointment. And it's one of 4 superstations operating in different parts of the county.
The community is pulling together to pray for a Chula Vista mother who has been missing for nearly a month.
A prayer is happening every day, all through our day, and how we hold Maya high in our minds and our thoughts.
Chula Vista police say that there are still no suspects in Maya Milliete's disappearance. They do say Maya's husband, Larry, is their most important witness because he's the last person to see her. He initially cooperated with investigators, but has since stopped after hiring an attorney this week. Maya's family tells us the community is helping them stay strong.
So every day we get messages, and it's a blessing to have that kind of support from strangers that we don't even know.
Chula Vista Police will be holding a press conference tomorrow regarding Maya's case.
One police officer is dead and another is hurt after a shootout in New Mexico. It happened on Interstate 10 in the southwest part of the state. Police are not revealing the circumstances of how the first officer was shot and killed. The suspect then drove off and there was a chase. Another officer used his car to veer that truck off the road. The driver got out and opened fire again, hitting that officer. That officer is already out of the hospital. The suspect was killed in the shootout.
And a sad final goodbye today for a San Diego police officer who died this week on duty. Officers lined the route and saluted today as the body of Officer David Sisto was carried past. Sisto was responding to a call in Carmel Mountain early Tuesday morning when he started suffering from shortness of breath. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. There will be an investigation, although it's believed to have been a non-COVID medical issue. Sisto was from Encinitas. He served 8 years in the Marines and was married with 2 young children. A GoFundMe for the family has already raised more than $30,000. House Democrats took the extraordinary measure today of punishing a fellow lawmaker from across the aisle. The chamber voted to remove Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from her committee assignments over the falsehoods that she spread about mass shootings and the 9/11 terror attacks. She has also suggested threats of violence against her Democratic colleagues.
Serving on a committee is not a right, it is a privilege. And when someone encourages violence against a member, they should lose that privilege.
Greene has since walked back some of her comments. 11 Republicans voted with their Democratic counterparts to remove Greene from her committee appointments.
We spoke to local Congressmember Sarah Jacobs after today's vote. She noted that Greene's apology and recent actions do not line up.
Even just recently, as this week, she called anyone who disagreed with her a pedophile. And so it's clear that this is not just behavior and rhetoric of her past, but how she continues to engage and puts all of us at risk as a result.
Green was stripped from her 2 assignments on the education and budget panels.
And we have new details on the remains found on a Santee trail. Hikers discovered those remains yesterday afternoon near Summit Avenue and Summit Crest Drive. Today, the Sheriff's Department said there is no indication those remains have any connection to the disappearance of Maya Millete, who we told you about earlier. The Chula Vista mother of 3, again, was last seen a month ago. The Sheriff's Homicide Unit will work with medical examiner to identify those Santee remains.